Senate to reinstate Ningi as Akpabio comes under pressure after Bauchi senator suspension. Wow. So I know that with Ningi suspension and the northern senators and even almost all the northern politicians have come out to tell Akpabio that it's either they reinstate Ningi or they should get ready for war. And I know that statement was a big threat. And because of that, all the northern senators have been scheming now to remove Akpabio as the Senate president. They have been, in fact, they have even given Tinubu that mandate or that demand that the Akpabio must be removed as Senate president and must be replaced by a northerner. That is what they want. So with all of this coming, I think there's a lot of serious scheming in the House. I'm sure with the northerners having more senators in the assembly, in the National Assembly than in the South, they might have their way. So with all of this happening, the news has filtered in now that they are beginning to scheme a way or find a way to get Ningi reinstated. So that means that he's not going to serve the 3 months suspension without pay anymore. Akpabio fear. I mean, all these tricks they are playing, they want to hide themselves. They thought by sacking or suspending Ningi and threatening him that all their secret will be covered. But Ningi has refused to keep quiet. And now the only way they can have their acts covered is to have Ningi reinstated so that dust can settle. Otherwise, Akpabio is going to be exposed. The National Assembly and even the executive arm of government will be exposed. The guy is not sent. It's not that he's a saint, but God is using him now to reveal things that Nigerians never knew before about the National Assembly and about the executive. This is serious. So let's dive into the details. Despite his recent suspension, Senator Abdul Ningi may be back in the Senate soon. According to sources, the 3-month suspension imposed on the former majority leader over allegations of padding the 2024 budget by 3.7 trillion naira may be reviewed. They will suspend the suspension. That is what they want to do. Senate plans to suspend the suspension of Ningi. That is it. So the Senate, under the leadership of Senate President Godswill Akpabio, suspended the Bauchi lawmaker amid the controversy. Yeah, we know that. Okay. So Daily Trust reports that there has been pressure on Akpabio, to revisit his action deemed unfair in some quarters. So one of the sources said the issue, which culminated in Ningi's suspension, is being resolved amicably. Okay. So he said the suspended senator might be reinstated at any time if he tenders a public apology to the Senate. Can you imagine? This guy is not ready to do that. In his words, the 3.7 trillion naira that was mentioned represents the budget of government-owned enterprises, GOEs, and they are expected to come to the Senate to defend their budget because the details are not always in the entire estimate. So where is the budget padding allegation coming from? Can you imagine? They're already trying to cover their acts because the secret has been exposed. So the budget was prepared by the executive. The House of Representatives plays more of role in scrutinizing the budget. So where is this allegation coming from? If not because some people felt they should be the president of the Senate and not Senator Akpabio. Can you imagine? So is that what they're trying to say? So the Ningi and probably the Hausas are now the people that receive that bullet now, because it means that they are scheming for a way to become president of the Senate. Okay, that's why they have told Tinubu, and have also said that Akpabio must be removed as Senate president or there will be war. This is a serious war now. So the fact now, from what we are seeing here, is that the people pushing this budget padding, the people that are seeing Akpabio as not fit to be Senate president, that it should have been them. Politics that you. So there was also the allocation for zonal intervention project, ZIPs, for members of the National Assembly for their constituencies. The money is not being released to any lawmaker, but this is in the form of project of their constituencies, project for their constituencies. So the summary of all of this now is that Ningi might be replaced very soon, but they are trying to put a caveat there, or rather a condition, that Ningi must tender unreserved public apology to the Senate before his case can be reconsidered, reviewed, and then he'll be called back. The way I look at Ningi, it doesn't look like somebody that is ready to apologize. He's still maintaining his own original position. And I know that the threat is small on Akpabio. Akpabio, they are just trying to hide their face in shame by trying to draft a very good way of bringing this Ningi back without them losing their integrity or their value. That is just what they're trying to do. But I know that the threat that the Northern senators are giving to the Senate and to the presidency is, making waves and is gaining weight. This is serious, man. This will not be a joke. All right. So in the comment section, I know there are comments. Someone said, bunch of thieves and liars doing everything to cover up their atrocities. And that is true. They thought that by sacking or suspending Ningi, that Ningi will chicken out like a snail into the shell and keep quiet. But the guy has refused to keep quiet. So this one now, maybe by bringing him back and giving him the entitlement, that will be the best way they can have their peace. So this one now, Ningi is holding them on their balls. That is the way it looks like. But even also they're putting caveat that he must tender or reserve public apology to the Senate, or rather to the National Assembly. I don't know how that will go. And another person said there should be real investigation and probe to this case. Something is not all right with this Akpabio-led Senate. Not be joke. Suspending Ningi in the first place was wrong as pronounced by a court judgment in a similar case. That is what I called campaign after election. Guilty or not guilty? That is the question. So is Ningi guilty or not guilty? Or is Senate guilty or not guilty? We need to know all of that during the analysis. Someone is saying, what do you suggest they could do? How come Ningi now become a saint? Because all the money that sharing didn't come to him. That is it. Maybe he has turned a new leaf. No, but none of them have turned a new leaf. I'm sure that giving themselves, they have set themselves apart in hierarchies. So there are some senior senators, middle senators, and junior or low-level senators. So they allocate this constituency project fund to themselves the way they like and according to that ranking among themselves. So people like Ningi is not getting enough, being an opposition party as well because he's in PDP, probably had decided to shout for some reasons. This one terrible, I tell you the truth. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comment. Senate prepared to return Abdul Ningi, following the agitation that is coming from the northern Nigeria among the northern senators. So thank you for listening. Let's have your comments.